For years, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton have been the golden couple of both country and pop music, two worlds that, before their romance, rarely collided so seamlessly. From the Voice stage to red carpets and farm life in Oklahoma, their love story has unfolded before fans' eyes like a modern fairy tale with a country twist. But recently, when Stefani gave what she called a little update on her relationship with Shelton, the simplicity of her words said more than any elaborate confession could, and fans are buzzing with interpretations. It happened during a casual interview segment meant to highlight her new beauty line launch. The interviewer, ever curious, gently shifted the topic from makeup to marriage, asking how things were going between her and the country crooner after nearly 4 years of marriage. Gwen smiled, that bright, mischievous smile that's become her signature, and responded, "We're good. We're figuring out our new rhythm." That was it. No grand declarations. No lengthy monologue, just 7 words, "We're good. We're figuring out our new rhythm." But those 7 words have sent fans and tabloids alike into overdrive. What exactly does new rhythm mean for Gwen and Blake, a couple whose public affection once seemed unstoppable? Different worlds, one marriage. When Gwen Stefani, the California-born ska-punk goddess of no doubt, met Oklahoma's country superstar Blake Shelton on The Voice in 2014, few would have guessed the pairing would evolve into a marriage that captured hearts across genres. They started as friends, bonded over mutual heartbreak. Both were going through divorces, and eventually became one of Hollywood's most unexpected success stories. For a while, they seemed inseparable. They appeared together on red carpets, duetted on songs like "Nobody But You" and "Happy Anywhere," and posted cozy photos from Blake's ranch, where Stefani traded glittery heels for muddy boots. But now, with both pursuing separate professional paths again, Gwen returning to music and fashion full-time in Los Angeles, and Blake focusing on his life and projects back home in Oklahoma, that new rhythm she mentioned might be more literal than fans realize. Life after The Voice. In 2023, Blake Shelton left The Voice after an incredible 23 seasons, marking the end of an era, both for him and for the couple's public life together. During his tenure, the show had been their shared stage, a space where their chemistry thrived. Gwen often credited The Voice for bringing them together, and Blake once joked that half of our marriage is based on who wins the team challenges. Without the shared work environment, it's only natural that the couple's dynamic has shifted. Gwen's Los Angeles commitments often pull her back to the West Coast, while Blake, ever the homebody, feels most grounded on his 10-point ranch in Oklahoma. Still, Gwen insisted during her brief update that distance isn't a problem, it's simply a new chapter. "It's about balance," she added later in the interview. "We love what we do, but we also love our quiet time. We're just learning how to make that work with everything else going on." A peek behind the smiles. While Gwen's calm demeanor suggested all is well, longtime followers of the couple couldn't help noticing how much more private the pair has become over the last year. Their once frequent social media posts have slowed, and they've appeared separately at several events where they might previously have arrived hand in hand. One insider close to the couple told People magazine earlier this year that Gwen and Blake are both strong-willed and independent, and that's part of what makes them such a great match, but also why they sometimes need to take a step back and recharge separately. In other words, they're human juggling fame, family, and vastly different lifestyles. Country calm versus California chaos. Part of what fascinates fans about the Stefani-Shelton relationship is how perfectly mismatched they seem. Gwen is the epitome of glam, with her platinum hair, bold red lips, and punk couture style. Blake, by contrast, is the embodiment of laid-back Southern charm, a man who'd rather grill steaks than attend an after-party. Yet somehow they've always made it work. Gwen often describes the ranch as her escape, saying it brings her peace and perspective. She's shared glimpses of their rustic life together, tending to animals, planting gardens, or just sitting by the fire pit while Blake strums his guitar. In her latest interview, though, she hinted that their time together is more precious now. "When I get to Oklahoma, it's like a reset," she said softly. It's where I remember what matters most. That tenderness, that sense of gratitude, reassured many fans that while life has changed, the foundation of their love remains steady. Creative sparks and separate stages. Another reason for their evolving rhythm could be creative independence. Gwen has been working on new music that reportedly leans closer to her No Doubt roots, while Blake been producing a series of country specials and focusing on his old red restaurant and music venues. They're each chasing their own creative fire right now, a music industry source told Entertainment Tonight. They still inspire each other, but they're not as joined at the hip creatively as they used to be. That doesn't have to spell trouble. In fact, it might be the key to longevity. Couples who share fame often struggle to maintain individuality, and Gwen seems determined not to lose herself in the marriage. "Blake supports me being me," she said. "That's one of the things I love most about him." Fans react and speculate. Of course, where there's love and fame, there's always speculation. After her little update, social media lit up with theories ranging from "they're just busy" to "they're taking a break." But longtime fans pointed to Gwen's tone, warm, relaxed, and grounded, as proof that the couple's relationship isn't in crisis, just evolving. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "You can tell Gwen and Blake are just growing up together. It's not drama, it's maturity." Another joked, "New rhythm probably means she finally convinced him to dance." Love, but make it real. If anything, Gwen's understated update is refreshing in an age when celebrity couples often overshare or stage grand romantic gestures for social media. She didn't promise perfection or paint a fantasy. She offered a glimpse of something far more authentic: love that requires effort, patience, and adaptability. Her tone made one thing clear. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton aren't falling apart. They're simply recalibrating, as all long-term couples do. Fame may magnify every shift in their relationship, but at its core, their story remains beautifully human. The final note. As she wrapped up the interview, Gwen smiled again, this time with that unmistakable twinkle of confidence. "We're blessed," she said. "I never take that for granted." For a woman whose career has spanned decades of reinvention, from ska queen to pop icon to country wife, it's fitting that she views love as just another evolution. And maybe that's what she meant all along. "We're figuring out our new rhythm" wasn't a warning, it was a love song in progress. In a world obsessed with breakups and scandals, Gwen Stefani's little update was a quiet reminder that real relationships don't need headlines to survive. Sometimes, love's greatest strength lies in its ability to adapt, to find harmony even when the beat changes. After all, if anyone knows how to turn change into music, it's Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, the most unlikely, yet somehow perfectly in tune, duet in modern pop culture.